I'm also very pleased to be with Adam Rickitt. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Now, I have to tell you, I'm not best pleased with you for many reasons. Firstly, because when I'm walking down the street, I'm often thought to be you. People think I'm you.
Oh, look, sorry, it's not my fault.
I wish I was. How long does it take to get that body then?
I don't know, I do sort of like half an hour exercise a day. Just like sit-ups or press-ups or something. But I don't do much, to be honest. It's sort of kind of natural. All my brothers are kind of like this as well.
Really?
Yeah, it's in the genes. You wouldn't believe it to look at my dad, but I'm afraid to say it is.
Now, outside, we've got to tell you, there are thousands and thousands of women gagging for you. What's that like?
I don't know, it's really sweet, I suppose, but, I mean, I don't know why. I think I look like a girl, so I think it's really sort of sweet.
You think you look like a girl?
Yeah, I mean, you grow up with your face for 21 years, I have, and, you know, from one day to the next, you don't see it as anything special, and then suddenly somebody goes, oh, and you're like, why? So it's really cool, though. I mean, it gives you a chance to meet everybody who supports you.
How did it all start then? Because we know you best from Coronation Street. Now you've gone to do the albums. How did it all start?
Well, I actually joined my manager, who's Nigel Martin Smith. I joined him when Take That was still formed to do singing. And I was sort of getting all the interest from record labels as a solo artist when it was on a day off that he then said, look, there's the audition for Corrie, why don't you go along? You won't get it, but, you know, you can have a go because it'll get you some experience at, like, interviews. So literally we went from singing, completely blagged my way into the acting, and then just kind of went back to the singing.
What kind of a risk was it in your mind having to leave Coronation Street? How nervous were you? Because I've just resigned from Century and I'm going somewhere new, and it's always that step where you think, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean it was a bit of a leap in the dark, but it's one of those things where I never thought I'd be lucky enough to get such a good job as Coronation Street, because it is a fantastic job. But you can't really sort of settle in life, you know, for something like that. You've got to really just try always, I think, to do what you really want to do. And I've always wanted to do this. You know, I think every little kid does. And I didn't want to spend the rest of my life saying, oh, I wish I had, but I was scared. So I just sort of went, well, you know, stuff it. Might as well have a crack at it and see what happens.
What do we get on the new album then?
Well, it's quite a sort of mix on there. There's a couple of ballads, because I do like them, but I think sometimes people do too many. So there's a couple of ballads, some out-and-out pop music, and then some sort of proper club tracks, like dance music. Because, I mean, that's basically, it was just songs which when I ever wrote them or I heard them first time, if it made me sort of get up and dance like an idiot, then I was like, yeah, I want that. So it's just quite a sort of like party-type album, really, you know. I think people would be surprised, you know, that some of the songs on there are, you know, really, really sort of club and, you know, I don't know, creditable is the word, but, you know, really decent songs.
What's next then? What do you want to be doing in 10 years' time? Are you happy singing the music, or do you want to go back into acting?
I'd like to carry on doing singing, really. I mean, I do enjoy it so much that if I could have like any dream, I'd like to still be doing this. But I mean, I got acting offers since I left Coronation Street, and if something came along where I could do it as well as the singing, then I might have a crack, just, you know, to have a bit of a laugh with it. But if I had to choose between the two, the singing would win each time.
Just give a wave to the ladies up there, will you?
Oh, hello again.
They all love you, don't they? Now, another part of society we do need to talk about that do love you. You did Mr. Gay UK, and you're huge in the gay fraternity. What is it? I'm not on the other bus, by the way. Well, you needn't worry.
I don't know. I mean, it's the same sort of things. I don't see the difference between that and the girl-based fans. I mean, to be honest, I don't really see why, you know, anybody would want to follow and fancy us. But I mean, it's just sweet either way, really. I mean, especially nowadays, it's not so much an issue. I mean, you know, I'm glad it's that way. And, you know, I just think it's great that, you know, the gay community can accept a straight icon, whereas, you know, so many times the straight press and media have a hard time doing vice versa.
Now, what I want to do is give you a pen, because I told the ladies in the office I was coming today. Can you write one to Danielle for me?
Right, okay.
And then another one to Ian. And if we can talk at the same time, that would be great. Yeah. Now, as we say, Coronation Street, what was it like working on the most famous soap in the world?
It was, to start off with, it was really odd because I'd never seen a single episode, which I know sounds, you know, ridiculous, but it's one of those shows where if your family watch it when you're a little kid, you watch it for life. And because my family never did, I literally didn't have a clue what I was getting into.
Another one for Lisa, please.
Another one for Lisa, sorry. So I literally didn't have a clue what I was getting into. So, I mean, working there was fine, you know, because the people, I mean, I know everyone always says it about soaps, but they are just the nicest bunch of people. So that was great. But, I mean, it was literally, you know, overnight, suddenly everybody knew who you were, which, you know, was kind of daunting because I, you know, didn't know what to expect at all.
You could do me one as well, to Alex, why not? And the other thing I was going to say to you is talking about press, because, I mean, you're sat here now, I'm not interested in going into your background or what you're doing or what you don't do. I'm here talking frivolously, but you have had some problems in the press that they write things that I certainly wouldn't want written about me.
It's an odd thing, really. I mean, I don't mind it because, you expect that is the way the business is now, But, I mean, it's bizarre. As soon as you get in the limelight, you suddenly have to tell them, the size of your penis, how many women you've slept with, things like this. And it's odd, the way that they expect you just to open up, which, it's fine by me because you accept it is part and parcel of it. And, I mean, I get sick of it when you hear people sort of saying, oh, you don't understand the pressure. Because it's kind of like, well, that's what the business is like, so you shouldn't have got into it if you don't, want to have that. So I just sort of laugh at it, really.
For our lady listeners, what is the size of your penis?
That's for me and my right hand to know and them to find out.
Is it difficult coping with the adulation? Because as you say, I mean, I'm the ugliest man on radio. I know this. I don't mind admitting this. This is so true. And when I got out my taxi coming here today, thousands of women all laughing at me when I got out of the cab.
Stop it.
What's it like to have all them after you?
To be honest, I find it really embarrassing. Just because, I mean, if somebody comes up to you and goes, so like, oh, you're gorgeous, what do you do? I just sort of go, cheers. I mean, it is a real compliment, but I'd say I don't really understand why, because I know there's lots of better looking blokes around than me.
Thank you, Adam Rickitt.
Cheers very much, Alex.
The Alex Belfield In Conversation podcast with daisymedia.co.uk. Alex Belfield.